tip number 71 from the book 501 Contractor Tips. I am the author, Greg Vandenberg, trying to point out some of the problems I had in working as a contractor and some of the things that worked in this business. Now the chapter here is developing better social skills. This is tip number 71. What are some of the worst things past clients say about you? And again, think about this. This is how we improve. And you don't just need to focus on your clients. Could be anybody. Could be people in your family. If everyone in the family tells you you drink too much, or when you're drunk, you're a jerk, there's a good chance this is reality. If you don't want to accept it, that's fine. But in order to grow, personally develop into a, whatever you want to say, a higher level of being, or just a nicer person, someone that people want to be around, you're going to need to address issues like these. And they're going to come from other people, and they might not be, these little tips might not be exactly what you want to hear, but if you hear them from enough people, wouldn't be a bad idea to start thinking about some of them. If 5 out of 6 of your clients complain about the same thing, you should seriously consider doing something about it. Complaints make unhappy customers, and unhappy customers don't refer you business in the future. Again, it's that simple, and you've heard me hammer this down. I'm going to continue to hammer it down throughout the rest of these tips because it's important. If you don't get along with someone, there's a good chance they're not going to refer you to someone else. But think about it. If you're working with someone, and I've worked for people, and I've told them, hey, this is what a few of us on the job think is a problem. I don't think it's a problem. You know what this is? It's like that Ferris wheel. It keeps going around and round. Problem never gets solved. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years. All of a sudden, and again, some people never realize, and I've got to accept the reality on this, that some people never learn from the mistakes. They will not understand what I'm telling them right now. They won't even watch these videos. These aren't the type of people who are going to watch them, and they're the type of people who need to watch them. They need this information, but they never, hey, I know, I'm fine. You know, whatever someone says, hey, it's not a big deal. Well, if enough people say it, then it is something that could be a big deal. And it goes back to what I said earlier. Even the smallest change can make a big difference in your life in the future. It's kind of like compound interest. You know, you're going to, let's just say that people tell you you're a little too aggressive, you're pushy, you're a know-it-all, you know, and you've got this attitude, and I know how to put that sink in, and you don't tell me how to do it, you know. Well, hey, that's going to irritate a certain amount of people. If you irritate enough people, this is like the reverse of the referral business. You know, your recommendations, it goes in the opposite direction. It doesn't go, it's not going to be a positive. Instead of you getting along with someone, adjusting for your flaws and compensating and fixing them, and you get one customer who refers you 5 customers, who refers you 10 customers, and pretty soon from this one person, you have created 20 jobs, and all these people are happy, and out of the 20 people, 10 of them continue for the rest of your life to refer you business because they were that happy with you. If this one customer who didn't like you and said, you know, hey, you're a jerk, and you're not paying any attention to them, hey, you know what? I'm not referring that person any business. You just lost out. You just lost out on a lot of jobs. And guess what? If this person doesn't like you enough, they're going to tell other people. They're going to make it a point to tell other people what kind of a jerk you are, what kind of person you are, and it's going to work in the opposite direction. People who thought about calling you or had a reference from someone else, you know, someone comes up and asks you, hey, who would you hire to put windows in your house? And you say, I'd hire Jim Johnson. he was the best, really did a good job. And then this person asks another person, hey, I'd hire Jim Johnson. Great guy, did a wonderful job. The third person they ask, hey, who would you hire? Hey, you know what? Jim Johnson does a good job, but he's a jerk. He's the most arrogant jackass I've ever met in my life. What do you think is going to really take precedence in their mind? The fact that two people gave you a positive referral, or the fact that you got one negative? I'll tell you what, that one negative referral is enough to, they're not even going to think about it. I don't need that. I don't need to deal with an arrogant, pushy individual, you know, especially if you're not an arrogant, pushy. If you're arrogant and pushy, you can deal with these people. But if you're a passive Buddhist monk kind of personality, you're not going to want to deal with these people. And guess what? You just lost another job. They do this enough times and it starts to work in the opposite direction. Instead of you receiving more jobs because you are a pleasant person to deal with, because you are addressing the issues that other people are referring to, it's going to work in the opposite direction. People are going to stay away from that person. They are going to avoid at any cost referring you any business. And then pretty soon, like I said, instead of having compound interest working in the positive direction, you making more money, everything flowing into your life, it's going to suck like a vacuum cleaner this stuff out of your life. So pay attention to what I just said. If you are the kind of person who does not listen to others, you'd better start. And if enough people tell you that you've got a problem, you better pay attention. And again, I can't stress this enough. If someone comes up to you and tells you, one person tells you one thing and you've never heard that from someone else, put it in the back of your mind. Think about it. Don't dwell on it. Maybe write it in a journal somewhere. But don't dwell on it and don't think, oh God, I better fix this. You know, but if, you know, 5 people are complaining about it, there's probably a problem that you should think about. Less than that, you need to think about it, kind of, wait a minute, am I this? Do I do this? Maybe you can ask some people. Someone comes up and says, hey, you were a little bit in my face, and these people are extremely passive. And you ask, hey, am I that kind of a person? And you get enough feedback to where they're saying, no, you're not, you know, then you don't have to worry about it. But if you're getting the kind of feedback where someone says, yeah, you are, or there's a possibility, this is something you should think about and you should address and do whatever you can to solve. Because like I said, you're in the business to make money. And the only way you're going to make money is to have more customers or customers who pay you more money. Either a higher level of clientele, more customers is going to lead to more business, more money. If you can't get that, you can't get past this one little obstacle, problem you have, you're going to struggle with it your whole life. You're never even going to know it's in your face. But it is. It's going to be just one of those things that if you can't see it, you're not willing to address it, hey, you're going to be swimming in the same pond. You're never going to make it to the big lake with the big fish making the big money.